Welcome, beloveds. Welcome to the sacredness of this divine moment. I am once again offering a live here on Facebook. I did two on yesterday, but I couldn't tell if there was a connection being made. So here be I again, standing out on the docks, just outside of my house, to share in the frequency of the water. And also to give you a heads up that I will be presenting a live on Instagram tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And that live is entitled Decoding the Aries Solar Eclipse. We're going very deep into what is the deep meaning of a sun-moon conjunction as an eclipse in Aries while simultaneously conjuncting Chiron. There's deep meaning and deep frequency and deep power available through that, and we'll be going into a deep dive around that. A deep dive relative to the close conjunction of Uranus and Jupiter in Taurus, and a deep dive into the conjunction of Mars and Saturn in Pisces, as well as the relationship interchange of Venus in Aries, making a harmonious connection with Pluto in Aquarius. And we'll also be going into all of the ramifications of the Mercury retrograde. So I invite you to cross-pollinate with me and join with me on my Instagram channel, Astarius Miraculii. Precisely, it's Astarius.Miraculii on Instagram. And again, it's 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I invite you to align in divine awareness with the greatest exaltation of your being. The resonance of your being that is absolutely at one with Creator Source. There are as many versions of possibilities for this solar eclipse as there are versions of imagining regarding this solar eclipse and the outcome. And so, what version of reality would you like? What version of reality would you like for this solar eclipse to hold for you? Even if you are caught in a moment of fear, I invite you to know, beloved, that simultaneously to your having that moment of fear, there are multiple versions of you parallel realities of you in the multiverse that is in a state of supreme courage. So turn the dial of your awareness to the broadcast of your infinite courageousness. There is an eternal broadcast of you in your courage going on from beginningless beginning to endless end. There's an eternal broadcast of you in your most resonant creative expression, eternally going on. You don't have to manufacture the grandeur of your being. You don't have to earn it. You don't even have to evolve into it. Because even when we are in moments of so-called lesser stages of evolvement, we simultaneously have elevated and elder versions of ourselves that is already in the full fruition of our highest evolvement. Elevated and elder versions of ourselves that are championing us, that have experienced every victory that we will ever actualize in the course of this entire incarnation. I invite you, beloved, to align with your eternal victories, with your eternal full-on expression of creativity. And I ask you, what does it take to define who you are as a creative being? What does it take to define what it is that you have achieved? Can your achievement and creative expressions be defined exclusively by what you've individually created, what you've individually achieved? No. You are your own version of the whole universe. And who you are as an individual is in reality the meeting place for the whole universe that you are. The universe rendezvous within the central core of your soul, my soul, our souls. And since the universe lives within the inner sanctum of your being, then be the resonance of the universe that you are. Be the expression of the unique version of the universe that is unduplicatable. Be the awareness that nobody can do and express the universe in exactly the way that you can. Be of the elevated awareness that by virtue of your individualization of being, that you are a blessing under Creator Source, the likes of which Creator can only get from you. Feel the elevation of who you really are. I feel the elevation of who I really am. I champion you. I turn the dial of my awareness to the broadcast frequency of every version of your reality wherein you are victorious in this experience of the solar eclipse. This solar eclipse with the sun and the moon in exact conjunction with each other. the sun as the divine masculine, and the moon as the divine feminine, coming together in such a way that there is no place where one ends and the other begins. This is different from the opposition. In the opposition, the sun is in one sign, same as, well, the lunar eclipse we had just a bit ago, where the moon was full at 5 degrees of Libra. And so the sun was in the opposite sign at 5 degrees of Aries. But when there is the solar eclipse, which is likened to a new moon, there is an inseparable joining of sun and moon, an inseparable joining of masculine, and divine feminine, an inseparable joining of the outwardness of consciousness with the subjectivity of awareness, subconsciousness. Moon is the subjective chalice that contains the knowledge of everything that is, was, or ever will be. The moon is the access code to the Akashic records, the book of God's remembrance, having the knowledge of everything that is, was, or ever will be. In the solar eclipse, new moon, we have this greater access to the Akashic records, this greater access to the quantum field of infinite possibilities, to the cosmic consciousness of God Almighty, because we are the individualization of God Almighty. We are, in our individual being, able to decode everything that God Almighty is. Because we as individuals, you beloved as an individual, are the chalice container, the microcosmic chalice container of the macrocosmic all that is. Because you are a soul in the body of the universe. And the universe, as well as the multiverse, are multifaceted cells in the body of your soul. And so we have this resonance of solar eclipse, sun at 19 degrees of Aries, moon at 19 degrees of Aries. And Chiron, the planet of the wounded healer, is also exactly 19 degrees of Aries. And so we have this opportunity to tap into the wounded healer. And Chiron, in Greek mythology, was a demigod, half human and half god, and yet one of the immortals. And Chiron sustained an immortal wound in the ankle, a poison arrow. An immortal wound, meaning it was a wound that would not heal. And so in the Greek mythological story, connected to Chiron was, let me remember this being's name. It's a certain archetype. Anyway, in the story, this being gave fire to humans. In other words, gave the godhood essence to humans. Oh, it was Prometheus. That's who it was, Prometheus. Prometheus stole fire from the gods and gave it to humans so that humans could realize our divinity. And the gods were pissed with Prometheus. Prometheus is a Aquarius and a Uranian archetype. And so they chained Prometheus to a mountain. And every day the buzzards would come and eat away Prometheus's liver. And then it would grow back. And the next day they would come and eat it away again. And those Greek gods declared that the only way that Prometheus could be liberated would be if one of the immortals turned themselves over into mortality. And so it was Chiron, who's half horse and half human, but immortal just the same. And Chiron decided, since he had sustained an immortal wound that would not heal, that he would give himself over into mortality so that Prometheus could be freed. Prometheus was a champion of humankind. And the Prometheus energy is reflected through the planet Uranus that is conjuncting Jupiter. And that represents an expansion, Jupiter, an expansion of the humanitarian resonance that we are, Uranus. An expansion of the higher consciousness that we are, Uranus. An expansion of the unique individualization of our being, Uranus. So Chiron is the wounded healer. So with this solar eclipse, we are addressing simultaneously our woundedness and our eternal capacity as the healer. So, beloved, during this solar eclipse, will you place your attention upon your wounds, or will you place your attention upon your eternal capacity as a healer? The energy of Uranus, which is in Taurus, conjuncting Jupiter in Taurus, represents the oneness of the wholeness of humanity. And so Jupiter expands. And so Jupiter is bringing about this great expansion of the oneness of the wholeness of humanity. And the expansion of the oneness of the wholeness of humanity is also resonant with you realizing that it takes all of the rest of being in the whole of existence to define who you are. Your individual being is the meeting place for the whole universe that you are. And so by virtue of this Jupiter conjunct Uranus being a catalyst for the expansion of that energy, we experience the expansion of our infinite consciousness, the expansion of our awareness of who we are as creators. What you create in your life can never be exclusively determined by what you individually create. What it takes to define what you create is creation ad infinitum. You are cellular co-creator of all that is created. Any being creating any amazing thing, do so while being accompanied by a cellular counterpart within them that is you and the totality of your soul adventure. You have a cellular residency in every being in all existence. And every being in all existence has a cellular residency within you. The whole of the multiverse and every being herein lives within you. You are the micro-container of the macrocosmic multiverse. And this solar eclipse is about an opportunity to remember that and to bring it into crystallized actualization. Come home to yourself. On mountain heights of heaven's land, you now invoke the master plan. Because it's your divine birthright, you're given back your cosmic sight. At dawn of life, you were so high, and with the angels, you did fly. You now ascend a higher plane, and the ancient times come again. 'Tis in the name of holy peace that all your blessings now increase, and your great abundance now comply with the power of your single eye. You bless the darkness, make it right, reverse the tide and free the light. God, Goddess, make your power ever pure, else let the power not endure. You love and lift your fellow man and woman and understand the master plan, and for you there's simply nothing new except that which you always knew. You are the power of the great new. You are new as in N-E-W, in that you become a new version of your beingness with every breath that you take. And you are also new, K-N-E-W, which is the awareness of everything that is, was, or ever will be. And it is the new, K-N-E-W, that is the formless, subjective resonance, the womb of creation, the quantum field of possibilities. That's the new, K-N-E-W, that then gives birth to the new N-E-W, when blessings become actualized in crystallized resonance. You are new, N-E-W. Yet first and foremost, you are new, K-N-E-W. The new N-E-W can be transitory and a resonance of time, whereas the new K-N-E-W is always a resonance of eternity, extending from the beginningless beginning all the way into the endless end. New, K-N-E-W. And yet the new N-E-W lives in the inner sanctum of the new K-N-E-W, because everything that will ever make its way into actualized existence emerges from the inner sanctum of the new N-E-W. And you are the new K-N-E-W, giving birth to every resonance of the new N-E-W. And all of this has a connection with the solar eclipse, new moon. It's a new moon, N-E-W. And first and foremost, it's a new moon, K-N-E-W. And so we have the capacity to access awareness of everything that is, was, or ever will be by virtue of this solar eclipse, new moon. So again, I invite you to join with me, cross-pollinate with me, and join with me on Instagram this evening, 8 p.m. I chose 8 p.m. because it's at resonance with the 8th. And the 8th of April is the day of the solar eclipse, new moon, 2 days from now. In the Instagram Live, I'm going to go really, really deep into all of the definitions. The name of that transmission is Decoding the Aries solar eclipse. Going to go into the intricate definitions of the solar eclipse conjunct Chiron, of the planet Uranus conjunct Jupiter, of the planet Mars conjunct Saturn, of the planet Venus in sextile relationship with Pluto, and of Mercury retrograde. It's going to be a deep dive. And my access via Instagram is Astarius.Miraculii. And I look forward to seeing you, feeling you, and co-creating with you there. I am available for intuitive astrological readings, transmissions of healing with didgeridoo and vocal harmonics. I have 2 books and a great number of music albums available. My website is Astarius.com, Astarius.com. This is my latest creation that I gifted myself with. You bring it in real close so you can get a real peep at it. That's a mahogany obsidian dragon on top, and this is the most amazing piece of lapis lazuli. I've never encountered a carving of lapis quite like that. And then I have here malachite, a malachite sphere, I have black tourmaline. And then I've got clear quartz, howlite, and Kumbaba jasper. If you're interested in my Ascension scepter wands, I have a few that's available now that I've already made, and I also make them custom, as well as custom crystal staffs that stand 6 feet tall or more. I see my beloved friend Kelly McCann. It's been a while since I've seen you, beloved. I love you so much, and I champion your eternal victory. Christina, I champion your eternal victory. Shelley, I champion your victory. Bernadette, I champion your victory. And all of the beloveds. Let me see if I can scroll. Anyway, everybody, if I don't call your name, just know that I love you and I champion you. So thank you for co-creating with me. And this is the first time that I have actually shot a victory. Yeah, I did shoot a victory, shot a video here on my dock outside of my home, and just with the water, you know, so it's so beautiful that it's this first experience of offering communion with this water. I come out here every day and commune with the water, and so I feel so grateful to have had the opportunity to commune with you on my dock by the water. I love you with the passion of heaven. I champion you. And join me 8 p.m. Eastern Time on my Instagram channel for decoding the Aries solar eclipse, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Give yourself a big hug from me and pinch yourself on all 4 cheeks, top and bottom. That's a sweet cheekaboo for you from me. Love you so much.